Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. I've had a very lazy weekend. It's Bank Holiday Monday today, so it's Bank Holiday weekend. I've done very little. I watched 2 movies. I honestly wouldn't recommend either. I thought they were both terrible. One was really bad, and that was Blink Twice. It did have Channing Tatum in it. I always get his name wrong. So that made it, more bearable, I'll be honest, much more bearable for me, but it was dreadful. I actually fell asleep partway through, and I only ever fall asleep through really, really boring films. So I don't recommend that one. Neither would I recommend the Alien movie, which is really tragic, because I'm a massive Alien fan. I loved all the previous movies. Well, the last one was a bit iffy, but I genuinely loved all the first 3 movies. Thought they were awesome, and I particularly enjoyed the first one because I went to see that at the big screen some years later, I might add. I was only a child when it first came out, but I did see it much later on, and it was just, there's so much more to it. If you ever get the chance to see that movie on a big screen, I recommend it very much. So yeah, in terms of the latest one, it just didn't have the magic. I don't know what to say, really. I mean, it had Ridley Scott directing it, I think, or at least he was involved. So you'd think it would be good, but it was just too much Alien, too quickly, too obvious. I mean, the key about the first Alien is that you're, something like 3/4 of the way through the movie before you even get a flash of this thing. So there's no building up of the terror. And some of it was just, quite frankly, just not feasible at all. When there's acid flying around in gravity-free zones, no, sorry, couldn't buy that you'd be able to swim your way through and avoid it all, no. And yeah, so that's that really. A bit disappointing, both those movies. So I really don't have an awful lot to say. I do have a bit of news about Ricky, I suppose. Well, it's not really about Ricky. I read an article by a journalist, I use the term loosely. Honest to God, it was really mean-spirited. By all accounts, there is a clip flying around that Stuart Lee said how he didn't like Afterlife. He's free to say that. Personally, I would say that was sour grapes. And if we're going to go to the root of people's character, Ricky hasn't left his wife of 17 years for a younger comedian, but there you are, just saying. So, fine. If Stuart doesn't like it, that's fine. He's free to say that, obviously. But this journalist was so vile about Ricky. And I was trying to pinpoint what her issue was. I think I've concluded she doesn't like the fact that Ricky's got a right of reply, as indeed everybody has a right of reply now in terms of social media. Well, obviously except Britons, because Keir Starmer likes to lock them up. But generally, people have a right of reply, and Ricky does, and he uses it well. He posted all his stats, when this was flying around, saying it's not very good. His answer to that is to say, well, there's so many million people disagree. And I think that's a reasonable argument back, to be honest. I think that's a reasonable response. And this journalist seemed to have a massive issue with statistics, which I think sums up the problem we have everywhere, doesn't it? I mean, statistics... What? Well, I suppose, yeah, there is that saying, isn't there? What is it? Statistics, damn lies and statistics or something? I don't know. So I kind of get that. But yeah, if she's got a problem with numbers, she's got a problem with somebody quoting how many people have actually enjoyed their material. Wow, where do you go from there, really? The other thing she said was that Ricky picked on the most vulnerable in society. Well, I'm sorry, my dear, you don't understand comedy. He has. I'm not saying he's never done that. He absolutely has. There are examples of where he's done that in the past. But, you can't be an expert at this craft straight away. You have to learn it. And in doing so, you are going to say some stuff that you probably would regret later on. You just will, because you're not sophisticated enough. But I'm telling you now, Ricky's comedy, I think, is very smart. And I'm not alone in that club. I know this because I have sat through, 8, 9 work in progress, new material shows. Every single one of them was sold out. and they were sold out within hours of the tickets going on. So I don't agree with you, Ms. Journalist. And I happen to think the way she wrote her article was very mean-spirited, and it really smacked of jealousy. I'm gathering that Ricky's bought a new property, a new large house or something. I don't know. Haven't really seen that, to be honest. But good luck to him. Why would you not? Why would you not buy yourself a nice place to live? And I can only assume there's a little bit of envy going on there. So apart from that, that has been my week. I hope to have done more exciting things by the time we speak on Thursday. Much love and gratitude.